audience today. This is Aditya Mohan. I'm the Alliance Marketing Director at SkyKick. I've been fortunate enough that my career has revolved around the partner ecosystem. So, I have actually been a partner, I've managed channels and alliances, I've developed partner solutions, and I've helped partners on their cloud transformation journey. So when SkyKick reached out to me to help run our cloud success program, that's centered around helping our MSPs like you play smart and win in the CSP program, I jumped at it. Looking forward to spending the next 20 to 25 minutes with you. Also, I'm excited to have Ekos Zufa from ESW join me today. He is a shining example of a traditional MSP, an organization which has transformed their business into being a successful CSP. Ekos, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Well, thank you for that introduction, Aditya. I'm humbled to be here in front of everybody here today, and hopefully something I can share with you all can help all of you in your business as well. I'm the director and partner of ESW IT Business Solutions. I'm one of the founders there and started a traditional MSP practice, and we're developing, like you guys, into new cloud resources.
Great, thank you. Welcome, Ekos. So our agenda for today is quickly our level set with the framework for cloud success. Focus today on today's topic, which is centered around the blueprint for cloud success. Provide some concrete insights that should help you succeed as a cloud business. And then we're going to switch over to Akos, who's going to provide some peer-to-peer partner insights for you, their journey to cloud transformation, and also the cloud success assessment, a tool that we're going to introduce today for you. So from working, with over 20,000 MSPs worldwide, we have learned a lot about the many factors for successful anything as a service businesses. We have narrowed these factors down into a list of four that really jump to the top as drivers for successful cloud businesses. In this 4-episode webinar series, we have introduced the framework for cloud success, right? So episode 1 focused on how sales strategies with packaged best-of-breed offerings can accelerate your time to market. Then we covered how MSPs can differentiate their Office 365 offerings, focused on Teams capabilities, and also surround these offerings with their technical and vertical expertise. Episode 3 shared insights into how big data, AI, and growth hacking techniques, they don't have to be overwhelming, and they can drive acquisition and retention of customers at scale. Today's discussion is, of course, centered around how cloud businesses need to realign their models, measure, and the priorities for ongoing success. So the cloud is obviously here to stay, right? The future is moving to the cloud. In fact, SMBs, make 75% of the cloud migration and modernization revenue. So, we have a perfect target audience today on this call for us. Gartner, in fact, predicts that 90% of organizations will adopt hybrid infrastructures by 2020, right? So they'll have some cloud solutions running within their business environments. And finally, IDC claims that by 2021, the cloud services business will exceed more than $530 billion. Which is an amazing statistic and a great opportunity for all of you. So therefore, the MSPs who fully commit to the cloud services will get the lion's share of this Office 365 opportunity. Now, what you need is a business blueprint to do so, right? So I'll touch upon 3 key tenets today. Ekos will speak to some more after that. So the first one is around, successful cloud, anything as a service execs, they report to the C-suite. Second point we will talk about is, how these successful execs adopt a new organizational blueprint, with some specific metrics in place. And then finally, we will also touch upon, how new sales models are required to succeed. So as you look at the data on this chart, 42% of managed service execs now report directly to the C-suite, right? So it's critical. The CEOs are incubating the cloud businesses. They want to protect and they want to fuel growth through that. Managed service execs, who report to the C-suite, in fact, see revenue growths, at least 2% or more. and operating incomes 3% or more. So real indication of why it's critical for the organizations. If they need to grow and evolve, they need to do that without the restriction of the day-to-day business, right? They incubate it and become the norm for the business moving forward. And the companies who have managed service execs, right, not only are they growing fast, right, they are also more profitable than any aspect of the other business within those organizations. Some of the metrics, so as part of that, it's critical for the companies to start, managing their business across some metrics as well, right? So, when companies look at, classic metrics like base revenue growth, this is really the growth of the install base of customers only. The new measure is around total contract value or the bookings growth overall. This is the value of all contracts, including the recognized revenue and revenue that still needs to be recognized over the duration of the long-term contracts. And components which drive that are new recurring revenue growth, the new revenue which is signed in a given year, that is, and also the total revenue growth, right? So total recurring revenue from the new and existing deals. So again, critical to start thinking about new growth metrics as part of a cloud transformation. In fact, if there are just two key cloud success metrics you wish to manage, and help you stay ahead of the competition, right? So as I mentioned earlier, customer acquisition and retention are critical to the cloud businesses. So CLTV, which is the customer lifetime value, refers to the amount of revenue that you expect to generate from a customer during the period over which your service will be of value, right? So in this case, higher the better. Now, lowering the cost of acquiring a customer means that you can acquire more customers with the same sales and marketing spend. So lower the better in this case. In fact, successful cloud businesses have a ratio of 3 or more. So measuring, managing, and improving this critical metric really provides you the foundation for running and managing a successful cloud business. The final point I want to make is around the sales models, right? So when we talk to MSPs out there, and this is also based on a lot of the publicly available data, there is found that more than 40% of the sellers struggle to articulate the value proposition of their cloud service offerings. Cloud businesses are new, running recurring revenue are new models to adopt, right? And this coupled with the inefficient and ineffective compensation models, and also lack of clarity around roles and responsibilities, this requires a new paradigm for sales incentives and requires new levels of readiness within the organization. So what are these cloud execs doing in this case, right? So they have adopted new organizational blueprints. Now, what this means is that the traditional roles, they need to start working with some of the newer roles. Obviously, there is no substitute to experience, right? So we're talking about net new roles or net new responsibilities that the existing roles can take on as part of it. Some of the new roles as part of it are, marketing response reps, right? So these are the folks who actually respond to the digital marketing campaigns. Then we have the sales development reps, brand new cloud-enabled, role, and they're focused on the targeting the highest propensity accounts. And finally, we have customer success managers who manage contracts, manage the lifetime value of the customer, and drive renewals and upsells. Managed services, they're different from every other product and service line, right? Customers are not just buying a solution, they really want to buy the peace of mind. And therefore, trust in the MSPs is critical. So therefore, companies need to start thinking about, how they manage that engagement with their customers for the duration. Now, this requires, these skills and roles, and they go across the entire life cycle. So we talk about inbound, right? And we talk about outbound, and we talk about retention as part of that. And customer success is really the face of the services, and understanding the customer's day-to-day issues. And, of course, we'll touch upon, how customer success has really become a key focus for them as part of it. And finally, I want to also mention that, it's critical for companies to have internal processes which are efficient, and they make sure that the right skills, the right compensation models, and the right tools are in fact in place to avoid the escalating sales costs. Finally, I want to leave you with this thought, right? The cost of selling technology is going up, as you can see from this graph out here, right? Companies are spending more and more of their total revenue on sales and marketing. These are all the software providers out there. This is because it's getting more costly to sell as opposed to the traditional transaction-based deals. And part of the reason they're going up is because successful MSPs have figured out for them to leverage, how they can leverage the marketing spend and resources from these ISVs, whose solutions they support and sell. So the front-footed technology firms understand that, they require MSPs like you to be an extension of their business, and they have sales and marketing budgets available for you. So, don't be fearful to ask, and chances are that you will receive. So finally, in SkyKick's research, working with the best of the best cloud service providers, we've determined that the top four drivers for these, cloud MSP businesses can be categorized into 7 core focus areas that accelerate your growth, business, and success. So, from strategy to sales and operational models, enablement and execution to measuring and managing. Each of your paths is unique with different starting points. The key is to recognize and address each of them as your business and market needs evolution. So Akos will now share his journey on ESW's path to sustained CSP profitability. Take it from here, Akos.
Thanks very much, Aditya. So what I thought to do with you guys here today is just basically introduce you guys to ESW, is kind of go through and paint a picture of our journey, which I think a lot of you guys will resonate with as we've gone through, and then just kind of tie it together and show kind of from a SkyKick's perspective and our partnership of how they've helped us kind of really focus on all the things we need to do. So as per the slide here, this is kind of our model currently that we provide in the industry. We're managed IT services, kind of end-to-end service offerings. A lot of them traditional service offerings. Just click the next slide there. I mean, we started in 1998. Those are our brick and mortar locations throughout Western Canada. We're a Canadian-based firm, about 80 employees. So we're a small business. 600 active clients. Our focus is about 50 clients or 50 users. That's our focus core line of business, and we're definitely focused in the cloud. So let's click the next slide here and get right into kind of where we started. Transformation timeline. I know we said we started in 1998, but really 2005 is where we hit our first challenge and our first kind of soiree into managed services or MSP type services where we have monthly recurring revenue. And we started with the small business 2003 server environments that we deployed, and an opportunity that we created or challenge that we created is the fact that it was costing our clients a lot of money to have us manage those, update them, apply patch management. Therefore, we started doing it as a monthly type service. Then in 2008 and 2010, it was a lot of overhead for us to do it manually. So a lot of costs upfront. So again, just focusing on the operational side of things, we invested in an RMM tool for managing these tasks and automating these tasks. So next slide there. And then as we evolved from there, in 2012. How do we automate billing and closed loop digitally tracking trouble tickets as they happen on our client side? So we opportunely invested in ConnectWise PSA that integrated with our remote management monitoring tool and automatically either updated billing counts or created digitally closed loop trouble tickets for our technicians in order to deal with them, which I think is a very much the same for a lot of us here in the call today. Then 2013, 2015 challenge, Office 365 is launched, and we included this into our MSP offer, but it was only being sold on yearly subscriptions, which made it difficult from a cost of goods sold and had to carry capital purchases for all of our clients throughout the entire year. So then the opportunity happened that Microsoft launched CSP, and we became a tier 1 or direct CSP to sell these monthly subscriptions without these large capital investments. Now, this was great, but of course, how do we build it? So next slide. So now that we have this great CSP offer in 2017, we finally made our next step, which was moving all of our existing customers over to direct Microsoft or Office 365 subscriptions over to CSP. So we went through the marketing exercise and the value of moving to CSP and showing clients the new self-service portal, and access to our 24/7, 365 free service desk support and direct support escalations to Microsoft as a value proposition. And we're recommending new products that we just built out, like the SkyKick cloud backups. Now, all of this is really focused on the operational side. And I was at Inspire, Microsoft Inspire this year, and SkyKick's been an integral partner for over a year for us as we're developing these new solutions with their cloud backups, as it's a great white space that Office 365 created for us. And then I met Aditya there at the booth, and he showed me this Opti index. And so in the next slide there, please. Yeah. So this is what the interface looks like. This is the tool that Aditya will go through with you guys. He ran it for us there on site and walk through certain aspects. And as you guys can see from our scores, our operational metric is almost at what I would call perfect strength. And really, when I was looking at all of the pieces that they gathered from all these industry experts from the channel about what we needed to focus on, they were all the same things that I already knew. Now, for us, again, operations was absolutely critical, which was for multiple different reasons. We're Canadian, so we really have to focus on a lot of sovereignty issues within governments on where data is stored, how data is stored. So we had to figure out exactly how to digitally close loop all of our tickets, where the data was being stored. And then, of course, scalability was a huge thing for us. I mean, one of our focus points is the fact that we cannot scale our business and have it profitable if we're manually having to update pricing or billing from Office 365 or someone or another third-party cloud partner like SkyKick. So that was truly integral for us to have our PSA integrate there. So we focused on that operational side. Then what it really showed for us is where we were, where we needed help. And so really our next steps, our next focus points are going to be the sales strategy and sales execution. So right now what we're building out are those two pillars, again, as part of that result in that test, and something that we've already been focused on. I mean, we knew these were the areas we had to focus on. So in the sales strategy side of things, the strategy, execution, and support, we're taking pieces on the left, on the very far left, you could see all of our a la carte, managed service, and professional service offerings that we have there. Now, what we're doing is transforming those into a packaged hero SKU, so it could be easily consumed by our clients, making it easily marketable and something that is just incentivized for our clients, or rather our salespeople. So we got a sales strategy that encapsulates execution support, puts in different types of service offerings or products or cost of goods sold, like Office 365 migration, cloud backups. And then our next step is actually focusing on the sales model. So we know we needed to focus and re-incentivize our salespeople, so they would be attracted to sell these new bundles. Then we had to focus on really categorically two mainstream things, and I mean they're probably not new to you guys: obtain, retain clients. So obtain, that's basically net new clients or sales hunter models. We had to make sure we had good incentive models and good payouts for these new bundles and these hero SKUs that we're making. So that was a net new acquisitions. But then also we created a net new role, called the CEM, or Client Engagement Manager. And that's going to be for retention of clients, and not just retain, but they work with our cloud clients that we have today, where we sell just our traditional Office 365 CSP models and start to push these bundled offers that encompass support and encompass execution as part of it. So we can wrapper these solutions, because Office 365, everybody knows it's going to become commoditized, and we won't have the ability to sell these solutions anymore, as we will be, as managed service providers, we will be pushed out by large account resellers that are selling them as a commoditized piece. So that's basically where we are at with our journey today. And, I really, again, just want to thank SkyKick for all the information they put out. Our business evolves every day. And as the business evolves, this Opti, which Aditya will show you guys today, it's kind of our aggregator for all of the different things we have to focus on. So we'll be using this on a regular basis to review and see where we are with our cloud journey, and keep focusing on the bits that will help us accelerate and help us to generate more revenue.
Great, Akash. That's great, and thanks a lot for sharing the insights and the real value that you received by using the self-assessment tool that we have prepared. What I'm going to do is, quickly wrap up by providing you some more insight into the, assessment tool that Akash mentioned. One thing I wanted to share is that, what we have invested in is not just the assessment tool, but an overall cloud success program. And, the areas that Akash shared, right? So for instance, he indicated that operations is a sweet spot for them, and the areas they're focused on are around sales strategies and sales models, right? And this really provides the transformation roadmap for a cloud success program. In fact, we have actually published a playbook which talks about accelerating your Office 365 practice profitability, which actually leverages this framework to provide actionable guidance for the next steps. So what is this assessment that Akash has been talking about and showcasing? Really, I mean, what it is that this provides you a platform to figure out where you are across those transformation roadmap steps, and your maturity level across that. So, we developed this one. It really takes, 30 minutes or less for you to complete. And really what it gives you is great insights into how can you measure your success? How can you access your current state, right? Do you know where you're at? What are the things that you might be doing well? Which are the areas for opportunity for improvement for you? It uncovers your path to profitability. It says that these are the areas that you need to optimize to be able to grow your business. And then finally, it benchmarks yourself against the top performers. Of course, mention how the office business is getting commoditized, right? We talk about IP to differentiate yourself. So again, it gives you tips and tricks on how to differentiate, how to grow your business, and how to acquire new customers as part of that. The experience itself is a very simplistic experience. There's around 30 questions across all the key focus areas for successful CSPs. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it as you go through it. And, voila, what you're going to see at the end is that, it culminates into this Opti dashboard. And, it's got the prescriptive, personalized guidance out here. And, it also gives you access to the exclusive download of the playbook that I mentioned earlier. You can obviously take the assessment, multiple times at regular intervals to see how you're tracking, on your path and your progress all along. So, in closing, I want to leave you with a couple of, calls to action, right? So watch all the 4 episodes of the webinar series. As I said, there's lots of great valuable insights from MSPs like you and like Ecos on the call today. Industry thought leaders have, been presenting at these webinars. We have had cutting edge ISVs talking about, some of the cool trends out there as, the cloud business is evolving. And then finally, some of the experienced SkyKick subject matter experts have been obviously integral to these. Secondly, complete that personalized cloud readiness assessment. Again, as I said, it'll benchmark your company's journey. And also it'll give you top recommendations on where to focus. And then finally, download the Book of Dreams. We also have a concise, abridged version of the playbook. So you're welcome to download that on the Cloud Success site as well. So in closing, thank you very much. This has been a great opportunity for SkyKick to engage with you over the last month, share our learnings, which will hopefully help you succeed as a MSP and a successful CSP in this changing environment, but evolving, exciting times.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. It was great. Really, really interesting topic. I've learned a lot, seriously. So everybody has questions? I don't see any questions in the chat section. Okay, so no questions. Now I'll start the recording and I'll make it available on YouTube page and on MPC. I think tomorrow it will be up.
Yeah, I think
Thank you
everyone
very
is
much.
busy. Everyone is busy taking the assessment. That's why there are no questions. So that's great.
And that means everybody understood everything.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
And
we nailed it.
everything was clear.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, thank you very much. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at aditya.mohan@skykick.com, or you can look me up on LinkedIn. Thanks again.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
Akash.
Great.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.